Okay, let me just set this up though. Let me look pretty for you. Okay.
Dude, I don't give a shit. Okay. I
All
got a
right,
knife. Check out my knife.
dude. Since when you got a knife, you became a whole different person. You know that?
Um, I just because we're like whenever I'm going out with Frankie, when he cut his paw when we were going out and like he was in the glass, and I know it was glass, but still like it hit me. It was like, what if he got caught by like a rope or a trap or something, or he got tied up in something and I had to cut it, whatever it is. I was like, ooh, I really want a knife. And then I was watching like EDC videos, which is everyday carry,
Yeah,
and like this is like a sick one. It's called the James brand knife, and it's pretty.
dude. We're gonna get back to this, but first off, I want to just hit you up with this. I got this idea that I want to start a podcast, and it wasn't because of the quarantine or whatever. It was really just trial and error because of me doing the other podcast on IGTV. So I really enjoyed doing the first one, and then the second one, I just couldn't do it. Like I put alarms for me to like finish at 15 minutes, and I just couldn't wrap it up. And then obviously I couldn't just cut myself or edit it out. Like the idea was just not there, and I couldn't like fade it to black or anything to make it look good properly.
Right.
And I was like, you know what? I have a if I have a lot to say, just go for it and like do a big 40 minute. And maybe at some point, if the audience grows, and then I can upload like bigger files into IG, then that'll be cool. But for now, I can't. So let's just go 40 minutes on YouTube.
Yeah, man. That's why people do podcasts.
Yeah,
They have a
exactly.
lot to say, so they say it.
And in a way, here's the thing: starting as a podcast, like something that I wanted to always convey because I love video is have an actual visual representation. And I know this is kind of tough because our setup right now is a little messy. Like we are recording ourselves using headphones, and we are also taking a voice memo on
No,
another
no, no. It's
device.
not messy. Jesus is making it complicated because he wants to use his 4K camera on his phone.
I can't even use it though because I'm seeing myself right now, and this is dumb because hear me out. Uh, these headphones, because I don't have the AirPods, they have to go through the lightning cord. And since it's
Okay.
going through the lightning cord, I can use my cord to plug it into my computer and see myself on QuickTime. So I can have the camera backwards and I can use the 4K camera. Right now I'm just
Man,
using.
just trust it. It's gonna sound good. It's gonna look good. Trust.
Okay, we're trusting on this. Um, so quick introduction because I wanted this project to be a little bit of an interview and just kind of showcase a little bit of like people's lives and just ideas. People I think they're like good friends of mine, interesting, or they're doing
Oh,
something
you
that
you think they're good friends of yours?
shut
Yeah,
up.
okay. That's a good thought.
Okay, so Joey, I'm not gonna say you know what I was going to say. Kidney. Um, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
I don't have a middle name. That's a big fact that a lot of people know already that I don't have a middle name. I'm a YouTuber. I'm 24 now, which is crazy. Jesus is turning 24 soon. Just turned 24. I live in Ottawa, and I've been doing what I do now, which is like podcasting, YouTube, merch, music, everything for I think around 8 years now.
Okay, so we got a good start because I'm gonna hit you with tough questions. And I guess these questions are gonna be tough because they're coming from somebody that wants to do it. I feel like when somebody is doing like an interview, sometimes they just can't relate or they're not getting those right questions that somebody that wants to do it would ask you. So, for example, something that I faced lately, and I feel like also when the idea of putting content online always hit me is equipment and like knowing like, hey, like if I put this out right now, like you compare yourself to other people. And
Yeah.
so we're talking about you started like 8 years ago, And I know the story. You started with like an iPod, right?
Dude,
Right there.
this is the iPod I started with. And I didn't even know about the back camera was better. So I started filming like this on my parents' windowsill. And then I flipped it and then I started recording all like this. And it was like such a bad angle because it was like face like upwards from below.
Uh-huh.
And so, I mean, this is all you need to get going. And that's like the thing that a lot of people don't understand. It's like, it's not necessarily about equipment. I just went for a walk with Frankie, my dog, and I brought I don't know where it is, but I brought my like really poor quality lens that's $100 on Amazon. It was a 40 millimeter pancake lens,
Yeah.
2.8 f-stop. And it's just like, you're still able to get quality shots out of that. But once you start comparing it to somebody who owns the $20,000 lens, you're never gonna it's not even on the same comparison. So you just have to go there and you got to shoot. And so like starting with an iPod 5, it's like I don't know. And to have it still, that's awesome.
Now, hear me out. You start with an iPod 5, and let's just backtrack to like you being 8 years ago then. Like, what
Mm-hmm.
was a good camera that you wish you had at the moment?
Oh, I still have it. It's in my closet. Because after this, I bought the T4i, the Canon T4i, which was what everybody was shooting with, or the T3i, which was when I had the iPod 5, the T3i, Canon Rebel, whatever it is, T series, whatever, I don't know the full name,
Yeah.
but everyone was using that, and I had the iPod. And then when I finally made enough money from like all the other jobs that I was working 3 other jobs. I was finally able to get my T4i. And so I was like a little bit ahead of the game, but kind of like at the same par with everybody else. So I dropped the iPod and then I started recording with that. But then the next thing you needed was audio, and I didn't know that. So then I hopped on the audio train and it just like started going up.
Okay, so obviously, there was something that I feel like it's always going to be tough for everybody, and this is something that I want you to address right away, because a lot of people do it for money, you know. A lot of people
Yeah.
do it because they want a personality. Like, I feel like right now it's just a little bit cool to say, oh, I'm an influencer. And there's a lot of people that, like, for example, in my city, it just like blows people's mind that like some little kids would proclaim or say that they are influencers having 200 followers. And then it just sparked this conversation where a lot of people say, like, are they allowed to say that? Are they not allowed to say that? I mean, if they want to be that, let them start. They have to start somewhere, right? But
Yeah. I think becoming an influencer is it's very, I don't know the correct word, but it's like very dramatic right now. I think
mhm,
there's so many people out there who are making it so much bigger than what it actually is when it's simply just an online content creator. But to call
yeah,
yourself an influencer, a true influencer, like somebody who truly loves what they do, will never call themselves that. There's so many times where, say, we go out in public and people ask like what I do, and I always say that I'm like a photographer or something, right? I
yeah,
never say that I'm a YouTuber, I'm an influencer, because I don't like that. I hate that title. I think it's awful because like we're all influencing people, but I'm just doing it on, say, a greater scale because I've
yeah,
built a platform. But at the time, you could always tell if somebody is being true to what they're creating if they don't call themselves that. If
mhm,
they're a little humble about it, that's when you know that they're just doing this because they like doing it versus the money. And like, I mean, to be honest with you, I didn't even know how to make money for my first like 2 years of doing it. I didn't make a penny because I didn't even have my monetization turned on.
yeah. No, and even right now, like the thing is like way different. I know that you have to have like at least like 10,000 followers or something like that so you can
Yeah.
turn it on, which it all everything that's news always sparks like conversation, and people were pissed about it. They're just like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, come on, like let them get a little bit from it. And then a lot of people were saying, well, here's the thing, if they're so small and they're not gonna stick around and all of this, and then advertisement and YouTube is just come trying to back off because of the content, and they can't review all the content. They're like, well, there was a step, but
Well, the other reason why I believe YouTube did that was because when that adpocalypse happened, the advertisers were really looking to where YouTube was actually putting their ads, and they found out that they were
Yeah.
putting them on, even if they were paying like so much to get put on videos with so many views, they were still putting them on smaller creators. So even if a
Mm-hmm.
creator had like 1 million, but they were only getting like 5,000 views or something, they'd be putting them on that. So then they found out that, you know, creators with under 10K, they're simply seeing 100 views, and it's not even worth, it's not even in the budget for ads. So
Yeah.
like they can't even hit the CPM range. So a lot of people are like, "Oh, this is so attacking on like small creators," and it's like, well, no, it's just because there's absolutely no budget. No one's paying to be put on that small of content. That's super
Mm-hmm.
unfortunate. But I mean, I think for anything, that's more of a drive to
Yeah.
get to that level. Like I know, like Matt Walden, he's a singer, and he's not even at 10K on YouTube, and he's posting a lot more now because he wants to get to that
Yeah.
point of making money. But I mean, if that's really the biggest argument that they have, then I don't think they're making content for the right reasons, right?
Yes, and that's exactly what I wanted to hear from you. Because here's the thing, not gonna lie to you. Sometimes I try to make content, or I have an idea or whatever, and definitely something that's always in the back of my head is, why am I doing this? Like, who am I trying to impress, or why am I doing this for myself and all that?
Mm-hmm.
And like, I definitely feel like it's just because of the art of it. I literally like just waking up and telling you and bothering you, saying like, hey, let's try to do a podcast, you know? It's not like I want to become an actual podcast guy. I
Yeah,
I genuinely enjoy talking to people a lot, like just
right.
rambling and all that. And it all came from me trying to do a podcast on IG, and I was like, 14 minutes is way too short. You know, it's
Mm-hmm.
actually something I enjoy, and I would actually would enjoy it more if, for example, crazy thought, if this was a talk show and I was a host and I had like people over, like that's something I could see myself doing. Even David Dobrik said it, that at some point he wants to be the host
A
of a talk
host.
show.
Yeah.
Um, it's, sorry, let's backtrack a little to like how we met, our friendship, and all of that, because I do want people to know. So like they already know that you're a YouTuber, you're a jack of all trades, and here's the thing: the way you started with an iPod, and you know that there was people that had better equipment, yet you
Mm-hmm.
still did it because the first video that you did. Tell us about that.
The first video, oh gosh, the first video I did was, am I allowed to swear on your podcast?
Yeah, fuck it.
The first video, okay, fair. The first video I did was saying like, "Hi, my name's Joey, and I'm just as fucked up as you are," and it was about like what I was going through at that time. And so like, I don't know, I made a lot of videos about like funny, comedic things about like finding girls, finding guys, whatever, because relationships at the time was like the most talked about thing at school. And so I started
Mm-hmm.
making videos like that, and then I started getting like millions of views, and that
Yeah.
was insane. That was wild. But a lot of people don't know that I first started off by making this mental health content, and I'm still making that content. But yeah, I started with just simply putting my iPod on my mom's windowsill in her bedroom and recording super quick. And the craziest thing though, yes, I knew people had that equipment, but I didn't even know anything about it. Like when I first recorded my YouTube video, I didn't know
Yeah.
any other YouTubers. A lot of people like watched YouTube before they began YouTube. I didn't watch YouTube. I never like,
Mm-hmm.
the only thing I saw was like Lips of an Angel by whatever. It's some like artist. And I
Yeah.
remember whenever YouTube, like I think it was in like 2008 or something, is when I first found it. I watched that music video, and then a little while back, little later, sorry, at when I was 16 years old, I recorded that video.
Mm-hmm. Now here's the thing. What was the drive for you to make that video? Like, what what woke you up
Where
and said,
yo,
I need to do this?
because those videos where people are like, "Hi, my name's this. I'm 16 and I have depression."
Yeah. Yeah, I remember
Those
that.
videos, but they didn't say anything, and they genuinely just made me uncomfortable. I was like, you know, you're still trying to hide what's going on and who you actually are, what your mental health is. I understand that was a very immature thing to say back then
Mm-hmm.
or now and every all the time, but I was young, I didn't really know. And so I said that to somebody who actually made one of those videos. And I felt
Yeah.
awful, but not necessarily because I said that to her, because I still think my opinion was valid, but it's the fact that I had nothing to back it up. So I sat behind the camera and I was like, hey, I'm fucked up, just like you, just like Johnny, just like Erica, just like everybody else, you know? And it's just like, that's the message that I think just the card thing was just like making the stigma even bigger, you know, keeping us away and like writing it down and everything. So I was like, let's voice this, let's get this out there. And
Yeah.
then it wasn't that scary. So.
And so now here's the thing. So it was definitely something that you wanted to do, and you did it through this medium because everybody was doing it through that medium, right?
Yeah. I mean, my friend named Mikey, I grew up and he was making videos. And the only reason like I knew how to upload was because he taught me how to upload. So I had no idea that YouTube was a thing. I had no idea you could upload to it. I thought it was only for artists because I only saw a music video on there.
Yeah.
So I literally had no idea until my friend Mikey was like uploading his like skateboarding videos to it. And I was like, whoa, that's sick. Like, I wonder if I could just talk. And then I made that video and I put it up and it got like 2,000 views in my school in like a week. And I was like, whoa. And at that time, that was a lot of views that quickly.
Oh, yeah.
Now people get like millions overnight, but still.
No, I definitely understand what you're saying. So here's the thing. I feel like definitely I already explained that like your feeling made you like have to put that video, and the medium is because everybody was doing it in there. It would probably be kind of weird for you to like write the newspaper and say, hey, can you publish this story, you know? You just found it easy that like everybody's making videos, I'm gonna make a video, right?
Right.
Now here's the thing. Different point of view. You have kids that watch YouTubers and they're like, I want to do that. But in their heads, they're like, I want to be a YouTuber, but they don't know what they want to do. Or maybe they do. So are they doing it because they want a job, or are they doing it because they think they'll actually enjoy that? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can. The number one way I can tell if somebody's going to succeed in this field or not is that they don't ask. They don't ask the question of how, they simply do it. They simply try. They take the camera, they go out and shoot. They take their mic, they record. And it's just, and then after that, it's like, okay, how can I make this better? It's not how do I do this, it's how can I improve this? And that's the first step right there that nobody fucking takes. Everyone's just like, okay, how can I be an Instagram model? And then they're like, you're like, take photos. So they take a photo, it didn't do well. How do I do better? Like, but that's their first question is, how do I become an influencer? And it's just like, that's your mistake right there. An influencer is to influence others, and is to create content that influences others, right? And that's what a social influencer does. It's to provide something that is social, that gets people talking. And some people just aren't cut out for it, or they're doing it for the wrong reasons. And it can get people talking, but you never see those people stick around because they have nothing important. They have nothing important to say. So, you know, you look at these big creators like, say, Jake Paul, and yeah, he's been around for a very long time. I actually did a lot of work with him when he was like growing, and he's not going to be around in a few years.
Wow,
because the
big words.
But the content that he's creating, he might be around on like different platforms, but he's not going to be around on YouTube or anything like that, because the content that he's creating isn't for YouTube. It's just not the reason why he started in the first place. You can see it. And once you see these people lose their passion, that's when it's gone. That's when they start making it for this money, right? So when they see that money come in, then they're just pumping out videos. And I've been there. We've all done it.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing. So actually, that's where I wanted to touch in. So you said that they are going to be in other platforms. Now, could you say that maybe they're doing it because they're living a different style of life, and so they kind of need the money?
Well, I mean, yeah, I think at the time, you know, when so I don't want to keep using him as an example, but when YouTubers do make a lot of money and they're able to spend it, like, that's awesome. I've even been in a position, not where I've made millions or anything like that, not even close to that, not even hundreds of thousands, but it's just to the point where it's like I could eat out every week. That's a huge thing. That's a huge
That's an
plus. It's a
accomplishment.
huge bonus. Exactly. That not a lot of people will ever experience. And that's such a small, minor thing, but it is huge. Yeah. And so once you get addicted to that lifestyle of like, don't worry, if it's broke, I'll just buy a new one instead of it's broke, I'll fix it. And once you get in that mindset, it's so hard to switch off. And that's why I stayed in Ottawa. That's why I haven't moved out anywhere else. And like, yeah, it probably would have helped me grow, but I would have been this more of an asshole than what I am now. And I would have been like, you know what, screw it, I'll just buy another one. And like that mentality, and I've been there. I've definitely done that. And it's just like you still have to have that fight in you, that little burst of energy that still wants you to get up and earn your money versus just pay somebody else to do it now because you have the money. And you know, that's why you look at big billionaires or whatever, and you're like, why are they still working? You know, they have billions of dollars. It's because they love doing it. Right? That's it. That's all it is.
Now, here's a good question. So we already tackled the idea that like a good starter is if you're gonna do it because you like it, and you have to have that ache on your body that you need to do it.
That's the thing. So to do it because you like it, I know I'm not trying to pick your words apart, but that's like a huge thing that I say not to do, because we watch content all the time, right? And so you're watching, say, like a Gordon Ramsay video, and you're like, oh, I like that. I'm going to do that. Don't make content you like. That's the number one no-no. Just because you like something doesn't mean it's you, right? Okay. I love comedy. I love rap. I love this. I love that. You know, so I'm not going to go and become a rapper just because I like it. You know, you got to fucking love it. Otherwise, you're going to lose that interest so quickly. But yeah, not to pick your words apart, but that just reminded me of like that one thing.
No, that's okay. I feel like definitely it does goes to show because, for example, the things that I always find so interesting, but tell me if I'm not wrong, like all this.
Tell you if you're not wrong? Okay.
You get the idea. Tell me, okay, so you go on YouTube, there's a lot of channels, and all of these channels have a huge niche. Like it's so specific. Like for example, have you ever seen the guy that like makes knives out of anything?
No.
Okay, if you go to his channel, he has like 2 million followers or something like that, and like the videos just go viral. But what I wanted to point out about these content creators is that they're consistent because they're doing something that they love. Like they just keep on doing it. Like I bet you they didn't even thought like, oh, I'm gonna put a video on how I made a knife from wood, and it's really sharp, and it's gonna get this many views. You know what I mean?
I agree to a certain point. I think once you understand what the numbers mean, once you understand how you fluctuate each number, then I think you get a little addicted to it. And then I think they know exactly what they're doing. So like they want to perfect their craft, right? They did it as a hobby. Now it's a career. So they need to perfect it to keep it going. So now they're looking at this knife video and they're like, okay, if I have this melting thumbnail of a knife melting over the board or whatever, and I title it how to get this melting knife to not burn you, whatever the hell they want to title it, you know, but they're looking at it like SEO and which is search engine optimization or whatever it's called. And they're like, okay, if I put this title, it gets this many views. But if I put this thumbnail, it gets double the amount of views. And so then they're thinking in their head before they're even filming. And that's the thing. Like when I'm filming a vlog, like I've been daily vlogging recently, I know exactly how my video is going to lay out before I'm even done shooting it. And that's like, I don't want to boost it, but that's a talent that a lot of people don't have. And that's when you know you're like a creative. I know you're like that too. Because like you're sitting there and you're like, okay, people are like, why are you shooting this? I'm like, don't worry about it. In my head, I know exactly how that's going to edit, right?
Yeah, no, exactly. Like when we're talking about this and I was telling you the setup and I'm like, no, but here's the thing, like the audio is going to lag if it's bound to the internet. So we need to have another thing that's recording the audio. We can hear ourselves lag, but that's not going to hear itself in the voice memo.
So what's funny though is that I haven't heard us lag once during this. During our test call, we lagged. During this one, we haven't lagged yet.
Yeah, no, we haven't lagged yet.
Which is funny.
Now here's the thing. I wanted to give you a very tough question. So you start doing your thing, you start making videos, and see something that I think I am, like, if I were to describe myself, I think I'm very sensitive, like for sure, very sensitive to a lot of things. And I feel like you've noticed it. It could be just a small comment, it could be a thought or whatever. And I'm in a whole different mood for sure.
Right.
Now, when I started making videos or trying to do videos every single time I start, because I've started many times and it's trial and error, and I definitely can say that I've failed many times, and I haven't achieved a huge thing because I haven't been consistent, and that's
Well,
another.
yeah, I don't think then I don't think you failed. I think you just stopped trying.
Yeah. Now
Right.
here's the thing, and this is the very tough question from me coming to you. I definitely do feel like video producing, it takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of effort, but more than anything, it takes time from your day, and in a day a lot of things could go wrong. So say for example, I wake up and I'm like, I want to make this video idea, and you start doing it, you got it all planned out, say you have a storyboard or whatever, and then you get a call and it just messes you up. Say, for example, um, there was a fight between your friends and they're like, hey, can you come over? And then you go there and then it just messes you up. And then you come back. It didn't took that
Yeah.
much time of your day. You probably just 2-3 hours, and you were still planning to shoot this tomorrow.
So you're asking like how do you disconnect your personal life to your camera,
How do you
basically.
put a straight face?
How do you
How do you
Yeah.
smile when you know that you're not okay at that moment?
Well, the number one thing you have to know is that you don't have to do that. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that's the biggest thing. Like obviously this is a huge mental health questions, but we'll stick more to like the actual like the production side of it first, like the mental health side. The mental
Yeah.
health side is like take your time to yourself. Put the
Yeah.
camera down, don't worry about it. Fuck that. Worry about yourself, right? Like take that
Exactly.
moment. And then the production side of everything, it's so on my channel, I'm super real and raw. Like I post, like if I get broken up with, I make a video exactly telling people how I feel about it. If I
Mm-hmm.
had a friend commit suicide, I talked about that. Like I talk about like everything on my channel. So it's super raw and real. And people are like, oh my God, you're so raw and real. And I'm like, yes, but I am still playing a character. I'm
Yeah.
not lying about my life, but I am playing this character that's obviously going to make this sound better or in a certain way because at the end of the day, your video is edited, right?
Yeah.
It's never going to be raw. It's never going to be real. It's always going to be an edited thing that's living on the internet, but it lives forever, which is not real, right?
Yeah.
And so when I turn on this camera, I put on this basically this layer of skin because I know there's going to be comments and I know there's going to be hate and I know there's going to be all this stuff. And so when something happens in my personal life, sometimes going to my camera is this form of release, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm being so real and then I can go and play this character. That's just okay. And for me, it's really comforting. That's why a lot of YouTubers started making YouTube videos because they had no life. They had no friends. They had nothing. They were so alone. So then they
Mm-hmm.
were like, they found their joy in a camera and this silly little thing or like an iPod or whatever it is. This is like their home, right? And so talking to this, standing out in public, even though they can't give a presentation at school, they can talk to this in public. And
Yeah.
it's creating a different character. It doesn't mean a whole different person. It just means when I'm filming, this is this, So it's just like when you go to work, right? You're not going to be talking to the same way that you're going to be talking to me. Or when
Exactly.
you're having a girlfriend, you're not going to be like, you're going to talk to your girl the way you talk to your girl. You're going to talk to your boys the way you talk to boys. That's just the way it is. So the way you talk to your camera is the way you talk to the camera. Where you talk to your handy old personal life is that's totally different two things, separate things.
Now here's my question. What if, for example, you're a comedian? What if you
Mm-hmm.
actually do need to put a happy face and like the emotion to it, and that just happened to you?
Well, that's the thing though. So as a comedian, I mean, I'm not one, so I don't really know. But as a comedian, what they do is they take their real life, they basically translate it into comedy, into these bits that it's still the real life, but they change a little bit of it. So that's them putting on that character again. So like real life is here and it's messy, but then they just organize it into this perfect joke that's one line, you know? And so it's never going to be possible to put this real raw person on the internet, and I think that's okay. I think that's honestly perfect, because we shouldn't be putting that on there, because we still need that personal life. So shit happens in real life, handle it, deal with it. You don't always have to put it online. Shit happens online, it doesn't have to go to your real life, and having that separation is the key to staying strong.
Yeah. Now, here's something I want to mention. I've been moving a lot. I've been putting my chair up and down. I've been looking at myself in this thing because definitely it's like the first time that we do all of this. And I just want to feel comfortable. And slowly, I feel like I'm getting there. I've been moving stuff, opening my water bottle. And right now, something that I do have in hand right now with me. And I want to ask you, do you have some paper and a pencil?
Are you asking me to get one?
No, I'm just saying, do you?
I mean, yeah, in my desk drawer.
Okay, because here's the question. A lot of people are always going to say it's easier said than done. And I have not done this. That was a bad joke. I have not done this, but so I've heard that a lot of people have these reset cards. Actually, it was being told by one of my friends in Puerto Vallarta. It was a younger kid who's like a very smart kid, and I got along with like the whole family
Right.
because of this girl. And I'm just not gonna mention their names just because, just whatever.
All right.
But anyways, this kid wants to be a an entrepreneur, businessman, and all of this, right? And he showed me this one video of this one guy that like said, you always have to wake up and have this one card that says exactly what you want to achieve, like in a certain future. So, for example, by the end of this year, I'm gonna have a job, and with this job, I'm gonna be making this amount of money. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I want to accomplish this goal. So it could be like save the world through an eco-friendly way, or I want to put a smiles on other people's faces through my jokes, something like that. So, for
That's a
example,
vision board.
exactly. And he'll have it the size of a card that you can put in your wallet. Now, here's the thing. Uh, I feel like that's okay, and that's something that you can see every single morning, and it's going to inspire you. I haven't done it, but something I do want to do right now, and probably with your help, is write down things that could make me click on that reset button. And if, for example, I was just doing the mood board for one of my projects, and then out of nowhere, I get in a discussion with the family, and then I come back, and I just don't want to work on this. So
Yeah.
if I were to write down three little things, if you were to write down three things, what would you do? What would you write down?
Well, I mean, I would not read in that situation. So what I would do in that situation, say you come back, you're working on a project, you go have an argument with your friends, you come back. The number one thing you should do is remove yourself from that environment, because that's already negative.
Yeah.
So like if that's being written down on your card, say it says, maybe it's not something that's in the future, but maybe it's something that's in right now that you need to do. So like it's a card that's like, read this whenever you're frustrated or whatever. And the
Yeah.
number one thing I would do is remove yourself from that environment, because that's already negative. So you're just going to be sitting there like fucking furious. You're going to be like,
Yeah.
right? You're just going to be foaming, and you're just not going to be able to do anything. So open your door, walk out, go for a run, go for a walk, go play with your dog. Something super, super simple, right?
Okay.
And so it could be, that's what I'm saying though. It could be something that is now, not in the future.
No, so that's exactly what I was saying. I was saying like this would be a different card. So you'll have like your morning card, and then this card will be like
Okay.
your reset button for something that happens. I feel like what you just said that could go on your card would be like 4 or 5 steps. It would be go for a walk, take out your dog, eat something. I don't remember if you said that. Or you said it really fast, but you said exactly
Well,
what,
I think you can sum it into this one is like remove yourself from the environment.
okay. But what if you have that lingering on you? You know, because like for example, I'll tell you what I was picturing on mine. On
Yeah, you
mine,
have something specific you want to talk about.
well, probably because my point of view, right? Like I would put like for example just keywords. So for example, I'll put like Canada, or I'll put like a next job offer, and then I'll put you need to finish this because next week you're gonna have this done, and you're gonna be able to look back at it as a memory, and just think of how many weeks there is in a year. So how many
So,
memories you're gonna have so it's kind of like, hey, forget all of this. This is gonna make you stop doing what you're doing, and what you're doing is something that you really like, and you're gonna regret it next week because it's not gonna be done. But if you
yeah.
forget all of that and you start working right now and get it done, next week you're gonna be able to enjoy it. You know?
And you tell you what you just read. Do you think if you came in your room and you were so upset and you read that what you just said, do you think that would motivate you? Do you
I don't
think that
know.
would motivate?
I
Do
haven't
you
done
think
it.
that would clear your head? Because that was your biggest thing. Because I said, this is what you should do. But then you're like, well,
Yeah.
what if it lingers? How is that going to get you to stop lingering?
See, here's the thing. I've done what you've said. Like that's one of the biggest reasons why I started running. Cause like I would just go out, run, and then come back and take a shower, eat, and then I'll get back to it. And then I would actually do it. Like I'm not saying that yours is
Mm-hmm.
not a good idea. It's actually a very effective idea. But one of my issues, my personal issues, and you could, like you said, talk a lot about like mental health issues and all that.
Right. Right.
I said like I feel like I'm very sensitive, so it's not like I'm gonna go for a run every 15 minutes. You know, it's not like every 15 minutes something happens to me, but sometimes I feel like, for example, if something happened to me right now because of the sun, like it's really hot outside, I wouldn't be able to go out for a run. Would this work? I don't know. I want to give it a try. That's kind of like the reason why I
Well,
kind of wanted to address it. Just
if you're
an experiment.
sensitive, I don't think just reading words is going to help because I think you have this mindset of like a thing goes bad, you're going to think about that a lot. So the only way to not think about that is to do something else that requires 100% of your brain. And
Mm-hmm.
honestly, video games, huge,
Yeah,
huge. Have you ever seen a kid who's crying, like in movies or whatever, who's crying, and then you hand them a Game Boy or something like that,
that's
or a
it.
phone? Everything changes because they need 100% of the brain to concentrate on this thing. And so for
Yeah.
you, I think that would be way more beneficial. I don't know exactly what yet. Maybe it's solving a Rubik's Cube or something. But I
Mm-hmm.
think it's just completely turning off that brain. Versus, I think if you just sit there and read this, I think maybe it might work once, twice, three times, whatever. But I think maybe on that fifth to 10th time, you're going to be like, Canada, okay, what's the point? What's the point of even trying?
Yeah.
I think you're just going to like end up backtracking. And that's where you want to catch yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that might be the second step. So maybe it's okay, I'm going to game for 10 minutes and then I'm going to come back. I'm going to read this and then let's get back to it. Because you don't want yourself hating what you've written down because you're in like this
Oh.
negative mindset, right? So you're like, oh yeah, oh fuck my mom, oh she wants me to do dishes, she's a dishwasher, she can do them herself. Oh Canada, fuck Canada. Why? I don't want to go there and be a dishwasher. My mom's a dishwasher. Like, you're just
Yeah.
gonna like go straight to it, and it's not enough room in between, right? So I think you need to give yourself more space and like I said, maybe it's Rubik's Cube, maybe it's gaming, maybe it's running, maybe it's a workout, maybe it's doing 20 push-ups, right?
Yeah.
Do 20
Okay.
push-ups and yell at your mom at the same time. It's impossible. You'll pass out.
Okay. So I think I like what you just said. it definitely made more sense when you brought up like maybe something that's little, like doing 20 push-ups, and then read that, and that's gonna put you in a different mindset.
Yeah.
But and it might not help. I totally agree with you. I'm
Right.
I'm just kind of like giving options, because like, you know, there's so many people and everybody's different, and then
There's not that
so,
many people. No, you're wrong.
there's only,
9 billion? Not a lot, man.
dude, I can count them with my fingers straight up. I know most of them, and I've only lived in 2 cities. That's it. No, like I feel like everybody's different and everybody has a thing. Like some people like to color, like paint. Some people like to eat. Some people like to cook. And that's the
Mm,
different things, you know. And some other people like to do exercise, and some other people like to go on Instagram. I feel like that's definitely something that I do a shit ton. Like I just go on Instagram and I zone out. But then it goes back to like a little bit of procrastination, like not getting back to what
well,
you're doing.
that's what I think. Instagram might not be the best option for you
Mm-hmm.
because what you're doing is you're still using that side of your brain that is trying to figure out what's going on, and you're like then comparing yourself to others.
Yeah.
So it, like, even though you may be looking at memes or something, then you're like, ooh, who could I send this to? Or you're looking at like a post and you're like, oh, that's a sick photo, I wish I could take a photo like that.
Yeah.
And I just think I think social media is more negative than positive with the way we take it in.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think you need to go to something that completely turns the brain off
Yeah.
first. Then Instagram's comparing yourself to others. There's no doubt about it. We're constantly looking
Oh,
at
of
photos,
course.
and the first thing we think of is like, oh, that's sick. How can I make that? Or how can I be that? Or how can I get that? So I
Yeah.
think for you, I think completely doing something that turns off that brain. I think did I just do a TikTok dance? I think that's super important.
No, dude, and definitely it's a good excuse. I didn't mean to say that. It's not a good excuse. It's definitely something really good for you to do some more workouts, be a bit more healthy. You know what I mean?
Work, yeah, it could be any. I start my day with every single day with 20 push-ups, and like some days are harder than others. Some days 20 push-ups is like 5. Some days 20 push-ups is 100, and so some days are worse than others. And sometimes it's going to be easier to get out of the mindset. Sometimes it's going to be hard.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's not going to work.
Okay, now we've reached 45 minutes. We could go for an hour. How are you feeling? Or do you
I,
think
I
45 minutes
let's
okay?
cut it. Let's cut it off at an hour.
An hour? Sweet. Okay. Oh, I don't know if you guys caught that on the audio. I said uh sweet. So what I wanted to say is kind of like sick and sweet. So I tend to do that a lot. I feel like it's just because of me thinking too fast and I want to say 2 words that kind of convey the same thing.
I did that a lot when I was growing up. I did that a lot. Like it was crazy. I would always combine like 2 words because you're thinking
Too
or
fast.
you're talking quicker than what you're thinking. It's something like that, and it was just like you're combining the 2 words. It's kind of sick, man. That's how people came up with words. Who knows? Maybe you're a genius, dude.
And I don't even know it.
Maybe you do know it. I just told you.
Dude, hear me out. Uh,
What
let's
else have I been doing?
say that
I've
again.
been hearing you out. You're like, hear me out. What else am I doing? I'm hearing you.
I know. Even myself looking at the voice memo, I'm like, oh, I say yeah like 4 or 5 times for sure in that one little bit that he was talking. Getting used to this.
That's all right. But that's just the way you talk, though. That's fine. It's a
That is true.
comfortable thing. It's a comfortable thing. What I lack on a lot is when somebody's talking, I like to give feedback while like they're talking. Like, yeah, okay, all right. Like I'll talk when they're talking,
Yeah,
and so when in podcast form, that's really poor. So like what you just did right there, that's wrong in podcast form, which is crazy because like in a real conversation, I would say that you would say, yeah, you would say, all right, okay, whatever it is, while someone's
exactly.
talking to show that you're listening, right? But
Mm-hmm.
you're supposed to stop until they stop, which is crazy. But yeah.
Whatever. We're trying to be a bit more relaxed with this. Something that I want to say is like, for example, we just talked about all of this, it'll be good if we just stop for a little bit and give a little bit of context, because we already said how you came up. Everybody knows that there's a friendship between you and I. You're like, if you want to call it that.
Yeah, if you want to call it that.
How did we stick together? Like, why am I talking to you and you're from Canada and I'm in Mexico?
So there was this one time in my old apartment. Jesus was really lonely. We were playing a game. I told him if I won the game, then I have to make him a Grinder account. He didn't know what it was, so I made him a Grinder account, and we got a match within my apartment building, which was quite scary. And to this day, Jesus constantly messages me asking me to create his Grinder profile to get matches.
It just goes to show that friendship lasts long, especially if you talk about sex. That's something I always say. When you break that barrier, you are like a brother or a sister. When you're talking,
Jesus will constantly break that for you. You can know him for 5 seconds, and you'll be like, "Yo, so this one time I got head, right?" And actually, I don't really remember. It's been like 7 years. So last time you got head, dude. Like, that's how you would talk.
Yo, but I build up great relationships through that, like friendships. Some people hate it. Some people don't like it. That's okay. I said twice the same thing. Some people hate it. Some people don't like it. Some people do like it, and that's a few
Stop
people.
thinking like that, man. You're allowed to say whatever you want to say. That's how you talk.
I know.
Dude, you've never been a very good speaker. Don't try to be one now. But people still understand what you're saying.
Oh my God, don't even get me started on that. That's something that we could put for another podcast. We got a shit ton that we can talk about.
How was your translator every single time we were hanging out and people couldn't understand what you were saying?
Yo, dude, when I hear myself on the voice memos or whatever, I definitely see how I slur my words because I go too fast. And I think that I'm just speaking normally.
Well, what's crazy is that I understand you.
Yeah, well, I mean, you get used to it. It's kind of like if you go to this is so weird. Like, because we can have these conversations and I can make like a joke and it could be a bit racial and it's very different from like posting it online and not posting it online. So let's just talk about me. Say, for example, you go to a restaurant and I'm making a burrito for you and I just tell you all the ingredients in Spanish. But well, I'm talking to you in English, but the ingredients sound more Spanish than actually English. You get used to it, you know, if you keep on going to that one spot.
Yeah, okay. What's your point here?
My point here is that we've been friends for so long that of course you can understand me.
Yeah, donde está la leche? Como si dice a little bitch.
Dude, that's all you need to know. If you know donde está la leche, shout out Danny Duncan. Dude, you know. Dude, actually, we're coming to an end. You want to shout out a little bit of things that you like, a little bit of your own stuff? Like, what's the last thing that you posted on YouTube?
Oh goodness, I've been doing a lot of vlogs, so I've just been like uploading like crazy. I recently the last video I did. So Angelica, which is my girlfriend, she really likes like looking at homes, right? And we find ourselves like constantly like driving by homes and like looking at them and thinking, oh, that'd be sick. Like imagine if they had like a red door and stuff like that. You know, it's just like completely reconstructing the house even from the outside.
Yeah.
So I had this idea of finding homes that are for sale, looking at them online, seeing all the photos on the inside. So now we know what the inside looks like, and then driving to it and seeing it from the outside. So we get like this virtual tour. And so I found that to be like that was really cool. It didn't really translate well through video, but it was just like this fun little project that I got to do with her, and I think that was pretty sick. And man, there's constantly stuff that I'm working on. So I just did one called Dear Teenage Girls, and I honestly gave up on my main channel for a little bit because I was just like so fed up with it. I was trying to constantly like battle getting back to where it was, and I was like, fuck this. I'm just gonna make a video that I love, and it was Dear Teenage Girls. And I was like, let's not put anything special to it. Let's just keep it simple and keep it elegant, right? And that video just hit 30K. And it's my number one video of like the past 3 months. And that's only 30K, but it's on this like ramp. And so I'm like, isn't that insane? You know, when you stop overthinking about something and you still put your heart and soul into it, it's still going to perform. People still love it. Doesn't matter. The number doesn't necessarily matter. But to me, it's just like this nice feeling of like, oh, you know, okay, I didn't need to think about that so much. You know, I didn't think it need to be so negative on that. And I haven't looked at my channel in a month or so, maybe not a month, like 3 weeks. And then I go back and I see that, and I see it's my number one video. I'm like, whoa, that's sick. So now I hit you up today, and I was like, yo, idea. We've done Boys Don't Cry. Let's do Men Don't Cry, because I think that would be really, really interesting. And I've talked about it a little bit. And so that's another project. And then I have 2 new songs that I'm working on. One's coming out in a month. One's still being worked on. It's crazy. It's crazy. There's a lot of stuff, man.
Okay, so how do people find you on YouTube?
You don't. You just give up. You just don't search my name, and you hit upload and upload your own. That's all you need to know. You don't need to find me. Don't go watch my stuff.
You can find him at Joey Kidney. You can find him at More Joey Kidney. You can also find him at Joey Kidney in Spotify. And
you can just search my name, and that's basically it. That's all. There's no other kidney in the world. So
well, there's actually something that you've mentioned before. I don't know if you still have the same issue, but like the merch, like, is there 2 stores or something like that?
Is somebody like trying to steal my brand?
No, but like, wasn't there a website, and then you had your own website?
Oh yeah. A lot of people try to sell my merch. So like they will. No, it was District Lines. It was a different company, but yeah, basically. And then there's a lot of other companies that I won't mention their names, but there's a lot of companies, like 5 to 6, that are selling like Happy hoodies, Joey Kidney shirts, Joey Kidney quote shirts. Like, it's insane. So it's like, I think we have 4 or 5 lawsuits, which is very expensive on the go right now.
That's crazy. So like, if they actually do,
the craziest thing that a lot of people don't know is that you have to hold up to it. So like, if I don't try to, you know, send a cease and desist out or get a lawyer on them and handle it, then another company can be like, well, you let them do it. Why can't we? That's a valid argument. Exactly. That's insane. That's so childish, but it's true. Yeah.
No, you told me about this. So if they want to actually get your merch, where can they get it?
Stay.ca, baby. That's the only place there is. Everything's limited edition except for the book, the Happy hoodie, and the Sad hoodie. But every other drop, it's just 1 weekend drops, which has been insane. It's been insane. Like, we did the Lazy hoodie, and then that was one of our highest drops ever. And then I just recently did the Stay You Lavender hoodie, and then that destroyed it.
Dude, it's the colors, man. I'm jealous that I don't have one of those hoodies for sure. What was I gonna say? And then your book, you can still find it in there, right?
The book is still there. Yeah, that's coming up on a year in October.
Audiobook, when is that coming out?
Dude, man, everybody asks me for that. With the like isolation right now and everything in COVID, Amazon's super slow. So even like uploading new audio and everything like that, like a new song takes like 30 days to get approved. And so the audiobook is sitting. I submitted it on April 15th. We're still sitting for it to even get reviewed. Like, it's pending an audio review right now, and everybody asks me every day, and it's crazy. There's so much work that so many people don't. Like, to upload an audiobook, you need to put your digital book up too, so that it can be transcribed. And it's just like, to get a digital book done, you think it would just be sending them a Word doc. No, you have to lay out every page, every word, every period, everything. It's a lot of work. And like, the reason why bigger YouTubers get it done quicker is because they're not doing it, right? So
yeah, they have ghostwriters or whatever. So when's the Netflix series coming out?
How do you know about that?
Okay, guys. Here's the thing. I know that we're getting to an hour now. We still have 5 minutes, but we started this kind of late. Like I started recording and then I started the audio later on. But I feel like there's a little bit that I wanted to address, and I knew what I wanted to say, and I just forgot. Give me a second, or maybe give me two. Oh yeah, I remember now. So the way this is gonna work, I'm probably gonna post this on YouTube. I may put like just a quick snippet of what we did, so that people know what they could expect from the podcast on my Instagram. Hopefully, they're gonna be asking for more. And what I wanted to do is, so for example, right now is you. The people I really want to do is Sarah. I want to do Matt Walden. I want to do his girlfriend,
You
Headley.
should probably know her name. Hadley.
No, I do. Yeah, did I say it right?
Hadley.
Hadley.
Yeah.
It's so bad because sometimes I just remember people through their Instagram tags because I haven't met them in person. So it's like Happily
her
K.
Instagram is Happily K. Yeah.
Yeah, I know
Yeah.
that for sure. What else do I want to do? There's been like definitely people that had caught my eye on Instagram, and let's just face it, most of them have been people that have gone through. Oh, Joey Kidney, who's that Mexican boy who's funny? Let me search him on Instagram.
You
And
should do J-Mac.
oh yeah, fuck. Well, J Mac, Nick Lee, Vi. There's a lot of people. I could even do Fitch because right now he's being like he's trying to be a movie director. Anybody that I think that they're working and they're doing their stuff and they're being creative and all that, I just want to know a little bit about them. But this doesn't take out the main essence of it, and I feel like that's definitely like touching back again with you, because like it or not,
Because we used to touch back all the time. Touch left and right.
Dude, like it or not, I do want to do like all of this
like
podcast. Dude, like it or not, I do want to do this creative podcast with like a lot of people, but I also just want to do something, and like it's not like I want to have multiple podcasts, you know, but I wish I had just one where it's just like you and I talk about themes, you know. So hey, what do we think about COVID-19, and just go at it, or like hey,
It's stupid. It's not real. The Earth is flat. How could COVID-19 spread? Doesn't work like that. Gravity would drag it down. It would stick in one spot. Fact check me right now.
Dude, I'm not gonna fact check you right now. I'm not
That's
that
what
fast.
I thought. How could swine flu travel? It's from cows, right? Or is it from pigs? It's from pigs.
Well, swine, isn't that from actual swines?
Listen, what's a swine, Jesus?
Like the pretty version of a duck.
The pretty version of a dog?
Ducks are cute too. Okay, don't make me think that I'm a duck hater. Dogs are cute, but the swine is like, you know, Barbie and the swines are like.
Dude, you're on a whole different level. Maybe you got a different swine flu than I did. What'd you do? lick a Barbie toy? What are you on, man?
Dude, it's just funny. I want to talk about this. I want to talk about why I don't like bars over here, or like just clubs. I miss the clubs and bars there in Ottawa.
I don't think anyone's ever said that.
Dude,
so yours must be really bad.
I do, and it's a topic that I could go for definitely an hour with you. There's so many topics that we can just talk on the daily basis, but obviously no, I'm not gonna hold you down for an hour every single day, but definitely like maybe once a week, and in a week I'll do like 2, and I'm putting myself for a lot of work because I gotta see how this is gonna work, like how this is gonna be seen on YouTube, clipping the audio, putting the audio together. Maybe ask Matt for a lullaby, or like what's the name, the giggle, or what's the name of it, like the thing that you put at the beginning. It has a funny name.
A jingle?
A jingle. There you go.
Those
Dude,
cost money.
I know, but we're thinking big, man. I'm thinking positive. I'm
You
trying to
could literally get somebody on Fiverr to do that for like
for
$5 to
$5.
maybe $20. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm happy with this. Are you happy with this? You think this is gonna look good?
Are you humping the air right now? Why are you moving so much?
No, I'm not humping the air. I'm just moving my legs. Holy shit. That's gonna look bad in the video. That's okay.
That's right. I fidget all the time.
Yeah, you're fidgeting right
But
now. Actually, before we leave, we made a promise, and that promise is to talk about your knife. And
what
what
about
I
it?
wanted to say is, dude, my first thing and the reason why I've never got a knife, because I can understand, I've been where you're at, where you're like, dude, if you had a knife, you can cut this. If you had a knife, you can cut that. If I had a knife,
Yeah.
this would be easier. How do you feel about having a weapon? Because like that thing is literally almost a weapon. What if, for example, somebody like knew that you had it and they're like trying to rob you and whatever, and they didn't had nothing with them, and then they see that you have a knife and you freeze and they grab it and now they have a knife. You know what I mean?
No, I don't. Okay. Whoa. I'm a different type of knife carrier. I carry this when I go. I don't carry this when I go get groceries to stab the grandma
Yeah.
because she's taking the last toilet paper roll. That's not what I'm here for. I use this. I use this for when I could go out with Frankie. Like really, when I'm going out to a spot that I can actually use it. Like it's
Yeah.
in my jean pocket when I'm in the Jeep and stuff. Because you in a Jeep, there's a lot of like cords and ropes, and like if you do have to cut something, it's just there. When I'm, it's just there for safety. But I never really bring it into a store with me or just for a casual walk or anything like that. Like if I go out with Frankie, then I bring it. And it's a small blade too. Like it can do some damage, but by all means, it's not considered a weapon.
Okay, dude, I'm definitely more than okay with that answer. Because, yeah, the thing that I was thinking is that you probably had it on your pocket like now 24/7.
Oh no, I'm not. I'm not that. I I just don't feel that at risk. To be honest with you, I've never even thought about this being a weapon. I've never thought about carrying a weapon. I don't like the word, anything like that. This is literally for like opening packages in PO box. This
Do
is
it,
for
which I totally understand. It's
yeah.
kind of like just an X-Acto knife, but there's a difference between having an X-Acto knife in your home and then carrying an X-Acto knife. You know what I mean?
For sure. And I mean, this is sharp enough that I could cut, and I don't even have to try to cut anything.
Yeah,
This could slit anything super, super quick.
yeah, I
But
know.
I mean, it's just about being safe with it. The person who's carrying it must know that if it is seen in that way, they can definitely get caught with it and taken away and whatever.
Yeah, of course.
So
No, like maybe I didn't meant to put that word in your head as a weapon. It's just like definitely it's a something that has always scared me. That like for example, somebody sees that I have it and then they snatch it from me. And then you're like,
yeah.
"Oh, this just escalated way too quickly. Now they have something against me," you know?
Yeah, I mean, I'm like I constantly fidget with it, but I'll never like if I'm in public, I'll never open it up.
Yeah.
So it literally just looks like whatever. It could look like anything. It could look like a pen. It could look like whatever.
A
Toenail
thick ass
clippers.
pen.
A thick ass pen, dude. I don't know, man.
Dude, that's a
I'm
USB
not too worried
drive.
about it. Yeah, dude. USB drive. It sticks in anywhere. It's fun to have, and it's easy to clean if you get some red stuff on it. I don't know what's in your computer. So
Dude, I swear to God, people that have knives on their pockets after what you just said, they're like, my man, yo,
that
they're gonna, they're gonna put you in commercials and shit, man. Watch the
there's just
sponsorship come in.
there's this YouTube channel called Blade HQ, and he walks around and they make knives. Like they sell knives. They're just
Yeah.
like basically like drop shipping for knives. Like they get a bunch of knives and they have a website that has all the knives. They send them out basically, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like Henry's for camera shop.
Yeah.
And they walk around, and the thing is, it's like, it's called a daily pocket check, and it's like, oh, what's in your pockets? They take it out, you got your keys, your AirPods, your knife, and it's like, oh, what knife are you carrying? And it's their everyday carry knife.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, that's sick. Like, having something in your pocket that's like this multi-purpose tool. Like, yeah, it's a knife, but it can be used for many things. It can open cans, it can cut stuff, it can do a lot of shit, right? So yeah.
Dude, I hope that this loads. This is probably the last thing I'm gonna say, but you're probably gonna appreciate this guy a lot. So there's this one guy that does reviews on whiskeys and lots of leather things. Like his keys have a leather strap, and his blade has a leather strap or whatever. So he does cigars, he does whiskeys, knives, and he calls them like men shit. Like it's just like that's his series.
Yeah.
His name is Jeremy Cyrus. He has a big ass beard. He's like all this and stuff, and he has tattoos all over. But the way he talks, dude, he could be the next president. Like this guy talks so eloquently and just has a vibe to it. He has a sick background with like all of his whiskeys. His house looks like it was interior designed by him. It just looks amazing.
I've
And
actually
also,
watched his stuff because he has a video called My Everyday Carry, and what's in there? A knife.
yeah. And oh my God, I just love the dude. So yeah, I'm just plugging people up because I feel like that's something I definitely want to do. I want to bring out to light like people I think they're amazing creators and share the stories of amazing creators and just talk for hours because that's what I do the best.
Just talk for hours.
Yeah.
Cool, man.
All
Well,
right,
thanks for having
buddy.
me.
No, and thanks to you for being the first person. Imagine that this actually didn't work and like the voice memo is not gonna actually be a
No,
good thing.
thank you for making me the first person.
My man, you had to be the first person for sure. I feel like we keep in touch for a reason. You literally sent me a message talking about men don't cry, and I was like, okay, you know what? I need to keep on doing my thing. I need to start something, and I hope that I can stick with this. I feel like it's gonna be easy because I got the
Yeah.
setup. I made the carve of the cup. Actually, look at this. Isn't this a little reminiscing of how you started? So this is my tripod right now, the cup.
No.
I'm by the
No.
window sill, and there's the computer. Literally the same thing that you explained when
Nope.
you were doing the iPod 5 thing.
Nope. I would never use a cardboard cup. Sorry, man. That's luxury. I just
That's
choose a
luxury.
windowsill. Yo, check this. See this? Look at that. Look at that little owl in there. You see that?
Oh, you bought Belroy? Yo, Belroy is an amazing brand. Have you seen like their backpack that's made out of just
Uh,
plastic stuff?
I think so. It's new, no?
Yeah, like
Yeah,
I
I like
love them.
leather stuff. This says pasta sauce, man. So this is like my everyday carry. It's just like my Jeep keys, my Belroy case, boom, and then
That's tight.
my knife.
You know
Now,
what you're missing from Belroy? The passport holder. Man, that looks mint.
yeah, I just don't. I've never liked passport holders. I find I'm
Really?
more likely to lose a passport holder than my passport. If that makes sense. I like how it's like something that I need versus a carrier for something. Like if
Yeah.
I lost my key, I'd be pissed, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I lost this case, I wouldn't really notice because it's the case, but I'll
Yeah.
notice my key. So that's
Oh,
what I think.
dude, it has a magnet too? That's nice.
Yeah, yeah. So it like stays closed.
That's hype. All
Yeah, it's
right,
sick, man.
buddy. Let's wrap this up. It was very nice to have you as the first person for this series who doesn't have a name. Who doesn't have a name already? And I
Middle
don't think
name.
it's.
Oh, your podcast name.
Yeah, exactly. Dude, I'm
Call it
just going
Nail Me
for it.
Jesus.
Oh my god. This is
It has
why people.
multiple meanings. Okay, it has multiple meanings because you talk about multiple things on your podcast, and it's not
It's
just for
a
the one-minded
versatile
folk. It's for
logo.
the facts.
It's
There you
versatile
go.
for sure.
And
No,
ladies and gentlemen, that's how you save yourself.
dude, that's how you keep the people engaged. That's what we needed. All right. So thanks for
Thank you guys
listening.
very
Thanks
much
for
for
tuning in.
listening. I hope you enjoyed your time on here, and you can find me on Grindr. Thank you very much, and we'll talk to you guys next time. Bye.
Watch it next sponsorship. Bye.
You're welcome.